Hello everyone. In this video, you will learn about human respiratory system. As you can see here, lungs are two in number, left lung and right lung. This is the internal view of right lung, which we will study later. Okay, so lungs are the main respiratory organs. They are connected with the external air through nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles. Now, what is the location of lungs? So lungs are present in the chest cavity or in the thoracic region. Okay, as you can see, this is the chest portion. So lungs are located in the chest region or in the thoracic region. Lungs are a very delicate organ, so it is protected by a hard bony structure. It is surrounded by a hard bony structure which is known as rib cage, and you can see here they are very close to their lower base. Okay, that is known as the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragm, which is curved shape, and the lungs are very close to this diaphragm. Okay, so it is close to the diaphragm. It is surrounded by a hard bony structure that is known as the rib cage. And one thing more, that is the you can see this blue color, it is the pleural membrane. So lungs are covered by a thin membranous structure which is double layer. Okay, you can see this is the outer one and this is the inner one. Okay, so lungs are covered by a thin membrane which is double layer known as the pleural membrane. Okay, this pleural membrane is filled with a fluid. That fluid is known as the pleural fluid. What is the role of this fluid? Actually, it helps to prevent any external shocks, as well as it reduces the friction between the lungs, chest cavity and the rib cage. Now let us understand about the respiration, how the respiration takes place. Okay, so we will start with the nose. As you all know that we breathe through nose. Nose bears two holes known as nostrils. Okay, nostrils are separated by a very soft bone that is known as cartilage. Okay, so the division which actually divide the nostrils, that is known as the septum. So the nostrils are separated by a cartilaginous septum. Okay, now as the air enter into our body, before that what happened, as air enter into the nostril, it enter into a one passage, one chamber. So that chamber is known as what? Nasal chamber, or the passage is known as the nasal passage. Okay, the inner lining of the nasal chambers perform three functions. Basically, it performs three functions. First function is that it warms the air which enter. Okay, secondly is it moist the air, and third, there is a mucus secretion. So the role of that mucus is to trap the harmful particle. Okay, whatever harmful particles are entering into the nose in this that nasal passage, then what happened, this actually trap that harmful particles, so that only clean and filtered air enters into the lungs. Okay, now already you all have studied about the digestion. We know that through mouth what happened, food enter, and here you are studying about the through nose air enter. Both food and air have a common passage. That common passage is known as pharynx. Okay, so pharynx is the common passage for food and air. Okay, from here air enter, and from here means from the buccal cavity what happened, food enter. Okay, so air from here and the food from here enter into a common passage. That common passage is known as pharynx. Before pharynx, air and food having the different passage, and after the pharynx also you can see this is the food pipe known as esophagus, and this is the windpipe known as trachea. After the pharynx also both having the different passage, but this is the common passage for both food and air. Now air from pharynx, from nasal passage comes to the pharynx and then enter into a windpipe. Okay, that is known as the trachea. Okay, and food from pharynx enter into the food pipe, that is the esophagus. Now, as you can see, this is the entrance. Okay, this is the entrance to the trachea, and this entrance is guarded by a muscular flap. This muscular flap is known as epiglottis. This epiglottis closes the trachea or the glottis when we swallow the food, so that food do not enter into this trachea. Okay, this is the food pipe. If this epiglottis will open, then what happens? Instead of moving the food in the food pipe, it enter into the windpipe. So that's why this epiglottis, this muscular flap, is closes when we swallow the food. Okay, to avoid the entry of the food into the trachea. Sometimes it happens that instead of moving the food into the food pipe, it enter into the windpipe. That's why we are saying that while eating, don't speak. What happened that this epiglottis, this muscular flap will open. Then what happened that the food instead of entering into the food pipe, it come into the trachea, means in the windpipe. That's why while eating, don't speak. Okay, so and sometimes what happened that due to incomplete closure of epiglottis during swallowing, it causes the cough. Okay, one more part is there. You can see that larynx. Okay, so larynx is the upper part of the trachea. It is also known as the Adam's apple or voice box. Okay, larynx is actually a sound producing organ. In larynx, there is a muscular folding is present. Okay, it is in a pair. That muscular folding is known as vocal cords. Function of this to produce the sound. When vocal cord, that muscular folding, that is known as the vocal cord, when it vibrate, then it result or it produce the sound. So larynx is known as the sound box or Adam's apple. Okay, so I have told you right now about the larynx, means the sound producing organ. After that, you can see this is the windpipe or the trachea. This trachea having a ring like structure. You can see like this ring like structure. So it is made up of a very soft bone. Okay, your ear having a bone, but that bone is what? You can fold it, means that is a soft bone. Ear you can fold it. Similarly, so it means that in the ear, what is present, that is the soft bone present, that is the cartilage. You calling that soft bone is cartilage. So trachea is also having a ring like structure, and it is very soft bone. It is a soft bone, so it is a ring of cartilage. This ring is made up of a soft bone, that is known as cartilage. So we are calling the trachea ring of cartilage. Now this, from here, air enter, okay, into the, from larynx it come to the trachea, and then it this trachea is divided into the and enter into the left lung and the right lung. Okay, so you can see there is a division. Okay, so this division, as it divides, so this division is known as what? This is known as the bronchi. Okay, means singular bronchus and plural of bronchus is what? Bronchi. Okay, again you can see this bronchi is divided into the having a number of branches. You can see. Okay, trachea divide, and again you can see this divided into the having a number of more division. So these more division are known as bronchiole. Singular bronchiole, plural bronchioles. Okay, and at the end of the bronchioles, you can see there is a bunch like structure, bunch of grapes you can call it. Okay, as you can see, this bronchiole, this is the bronchiole, and at the end of this you can see there is a bunch of grapes like structure. Okay, this is called the air filled sac. Okay, this air filled sac is known as what? This air filled sac is known as alveoli. Okay, what we can call it? Alveoli, plural form, and alveolus is the singular form. Okay, now millions of alveoli are present in the lungs, and the main function of alveoli is to increase the surface area for the exchangement of gases. Okay, so here what is happening? You can see here written that air in, so which air we are taking? Oxygen. So air enter into the, finally into the alveoli. Okay, there is a network of blood capillaries. So air in oxygen come into the blood, where in the blood it will oxidize the food, that is the glucose, and after the oxidation what happen, energy we are utilizing it. And carbon dioxide, what happen, carbon dioxide from here, from the blood, move out, okay, from the passage from where the air in oxygen enter, from the same passage, from the same part, what happen, carbon dioxide will be move out. So you can see carbon dioxide diffuses out, oxygen diffuses in. So oxygen enter through the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, then finally enter into the lungs. Then this is the alveoli region. In the alveoli region, what happened, it enter into the blood. In the blood, it oxidize the food. After the oxidization, what happened, carbon dioxide releases, and from here only the carbon dioxide, excess of carbon dioxide will move out from the same passage as the oxygen entering. Okay, then carbon dioxide will be move out. Like this, the exchangement of gases takes place. Okay, you can see. I hope it is clear for you all. If any question, if any query, you may ask.